not season 2, episode 2, season 1. I'm so happy you're listening again. So privileged to be talking to you again. First thing I want to point out is like the mic situation. So I haven't got the little mini mics because when we were looking at the audio, it kind of just was not it. Like, it wasn't what I was expecting, really. We should have done a sound check beforehand. But, unfortunately, we didn't. So, well, we did, kind of, but we thought they were alright. But then when we were editing it, like, it wasn't it. But, so happy you're listening again. Today's topic is going to be mental health. So I know last week we did a lot of talking about my situation with my parents, like parent separation, but obviously we're not doing that this week because I think we should have a little bit of a variation. So each week will be kind of different. I'll just let you on a little secret. Me and my friend Evie are going to be doing an episode next week. So you should look forward to that. I am very excited. We were supposed to be doing it this week, but unfortunately she's not very well. So we're not going to do that this week, but it's alright. We can work with what we've got here. So I just wrote some notes down of what I'm going to be talking to you about. And yeah, let's get on with it. So basically, I'm just going to be talking to you about how I feel on a day-to-day basis, and like situations that I've been in. So obviously, as I've told you in the last episode, if you haven't already listened to the last episode, please go and listen to that so you can get a better understanding of what we're going to be talking about today. Like, my mental health started to kind of decrease after my parents separated. So obviously that was really hard to keep a good like mental health and mental status. So basically I'm just going to be telling you all about that in this first section, just to give you a little bit of a taster of how I felt after that, but none of that really had to do with my parents' separation, because before they told me, my mental health wasn't that great anyways. So after they told me they separated, it just kind of added another brick to the pile, you know what I mean? So yeah, and then obviously it just kept getting worse and worse after we went on a holiday and everything like that. So that is basically how my mental health came to be, how it was and basically still is today. It's not as bad as it used to be, but it's still pretty, I wouldn't say horrible or horrendous, but I would say it's still pretty bad on to a day-to-day basis, because to be honest, I don't think I'll ever recover from my parents' divorce. Well, they're not even divorced, but like, yeah, that's why I mean where my situation kind of sticky and all jumbled up, but I'm sure we'll talk about that next week with Evie. But yeah, anyway, so I don't think I'll ever recover from it, because you know how you can have everything you want in the world, you've got a perfect family, and then one day it just gets ripped apart from you like that, and that's just, you know what I mean, it's not the greatest of situations to be put in. So anyway, I'm just going to go through, I think we left off last week from the mattress situation. If you don't know what the mattress situation was, it was basically where I had no flooring, it was just a mattress in my bedroom, 4 walls to stare at the entire day. I didn't eat very well. I think I had about 1 meal a day, which was the meal that I would get in the evening. because it was given to me and I didn't want to seem like an ungrateful person. So I just ate that. But that was it. That's all I ate all really day. And I would drink water and chew gum the rest of the time. So it wasn't like I wasn't drinking, I was drinking, but obviously that's not good because you need food. But I don't know what happened. It was sort of like everything had really been blocked out. Like, it just felt like it was only me. I could be in a room full of people that love and care about me, but somehow I felt so alone. And I wasn't alone. I was actually, I was laughing. I was joking. I was having the best time of my life, but that was disguised. That was my disguise I was kind of putting a front on. It wasn't really a case of like I was actually in the room. It was this fake person and demeanour that I was kind of showing off. It wasn't me. It wasn't Summer in that person is dead to me now, but that person made me who I am today. So I thank the person that I put on. And still she sometimes comes to me when I'm trying to put a front on and I'm not having a good day, because I'm not gonna lie to you, 90%, not even that, maybe 95% of days, I'm not me. 90% of the time I have a bad day. And 10% of the time, it's very rare if I have a good day. But if I have a good day, I want to tell everyone about it. I'm very enthusiastic. I'm very excited. But the second one bad thing happens to me, that's it. My mood is destroyed for the rest of the day. And I don't know why that happens. I don't really have the answers for that. But that's just kind of how it is, really. I can't explain that. If you get that too, I'm actually really glad that you get that. It's not a nice feeling, but I'm really glad that you feel like that as well, because I honestly just feel like that is something that I'm alone in. One bad thing and everything, the whole day is just ruined, and I don't understand why that happens, but if somebody does understand that, please let me know. Or if you don't understand that but you get the same thing, I'm so happy that we could relate and share that, because nobody has all of the answers, do you know what I mean? So yeah, anyway, so after all of this, like all these thoughts in my head, and they were just, they were like really loud, and I couldn't make them go away. The only time I could make them go away was when I was asleep, but even when I was asleep, I was still dreaming about having a bad day or something really terrible happening again. I don't know, the feelings that I felt are kind of really indescribable, in the way that, like, there's no words really talking about it. It's like it's kind of reliving it, and it's scary, but I want to get the message out there for you guys, because I want you to know, if you've ever felt the way that I have, it's alright to do that. But yeah, anyway, back to what I was originally saying. I just felt, like I said, I just felt so alone. And you see these people saying, oh yeah, I'm so lonely, I have no friends, blah, 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 blah. When they have like loads of friends and everybody's there from them and they've not gone for a single thing in their entire life. They've got the perfect little life that anybody could have really pictured. But seriously, like, I don't know, it's weird. I felt so trapped, and I wanted to speak up and tell some of my mates how I felt, but the words just didn't come out. Like, I would go up to people, and when I actually did do it, like I said in the last episode, they didn't know how to respond or help me. So I just kind of stopped, and when it felt like I couldn't hold it in anymore, I had nowhere to go to. And it was like embarrassing to share my feelings to my friends. So I kind of just stopped. Like I said, I kept it in. But there was this one, I can remember this one day at school, and we had this assembly on mental health, and I was like, here we go. I've got enough going on, I really don't need this assembly right now. And there was it's SLT assembly, so that stands for Senior Leadership Team, which is like people that you can go to for help and things like that. And they were basically talking about just like celebrities and how they go through mental health issues and all of that kind of thing. And I was like, oh yeah, here we go, blah, 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 blah. And I don't know, something happened and it kind of just clicked to me, and it was like, these people can help me. Like, if my friends can't help me, if I don't want my family to help me, who else can I go to? So there's this one teacher, and I love her with all of my heart. Honestly, she's so kind. She can have a laugh. She's not even like a teacher. She's just a normal, you know how teachers put a front on and they're like, I am the adult in the room, you know what I mean? Like, she's so fun and alive, and she acts like a human. She doesn't act like a robot or like a stereotypical teacher. She's honestly, if there's people from my school listening to this and disagree with me, that's completely fine, but it's just like the way that I feel about her, because she's helped me through so many lows, and I want to thank her so much for helping me through so many lows. So Mrs. Folkes, that is the teacher that I'm on about. I can't, if you're listening, if I tell you about this in one of our little catch-ups, I I'm so grateful for you. And I honestly, I don't know how I would have got through things if I didn't have you. I have some pros and cons, because obviously when you're a teacher in this department, obviously you've got so much stuff to do, like so much stuff. You've got so many responsibilities for so many kids, and we had a mental health assembly recently actually that said 1 in 5 kids are going through something right now, and they said in the assembly that is a lot of children to care for and check up on, because our school is like massive. So 1 in 5 children are going through something right now, and that is mad. But I don't know, I think I felt a bit like forgotten about sometimes, and I know I wasn't forgotten about, I know that, it's just because they were busy. But so first of all, I went and told Miss Folks, listen, like, my parents are going through something right now, it's not so much of that, but I really need to talk to someone, because I don't think I can talk to anybody else, and you're the only person that I think I can talk to. And she was like, yes, okay, we'll arrange to go and talk sometime, you'll just have to remind me. So I reminded her, and obviously I think she just had something on, it must have been like a little blip or whatever, but she didn't come and get me out of my lesson. And obviously I really needed to talk to someone, so I was just like, oh, I guess I've been forgotten about or traded for another person to have a different session or whatever, but obviously that wasn't the case. And I know that wasn't the case, that's just how I felt at the time. And this happened for a few days, a couple of times, and then she finally got me, and I could just... It's almost like I could breathe again. But I didn't tell her everything that I should have told her. I just kind of let the things that needed to come out. But I didn't, like, fully tell her everything, because obviously, at the time, I've literally never spoken to this woman in my entire life. All I know is I can trust her, and she'll keep it confidential. So that's it really. So I obviously I can trust her now, I can tell her anything, but I just, at the time, I didn't really know. I didn't really know who I was talking to be honest. I knew she was my assistant head of year, but other than that, that's it really. That's all I knew about her. I knew her name was Miss Folks, and that's it. So I told her a few things. I didn't go into detail or anything. I just told her how I was feeling. She was like, okay, so I think we should have like some daily sessions. Not daily session, weekly sessions on a Tuesday. Continue to have those. It was really good. And then one day she gave me a little bit of advice, because I was getting worse. And I thought these sessions were supposed to help me get better, but at the time they just weren't working and they were making me worse. So I just told her that that's how it was, and she was like, okay, write how you feel every day in a book. So I was like, I don't really do that. I sounds a bit. I'm not gonna tamper with that. And I didn't say that to her. That's how I felt. And I don't know. One day I was really upset. I couldn't tell my mum and my dad, or Albie, obviously my little brother. I couldn't tell him. So I was just like, okay, I suppose I could try it. Let off some steam. And I did, and it didn't work, but it was good to put it somewhere so it didn't have to stay just with me. It could be reverted into something else. So at first I didn't really understand what she was saying, so I just wrote like points from my day. But obviously I'm going to skip I'm just going to read a few out, and then I'll get to the point where I really got it. So, Tuesday, the 1st of October. First session with Miss Fuchs. I cried a lot that day. This is another thing. I was always tired. Always. If I had a really good night's sleep, I was tired. If I went to bed really late and got up really late, I was tired. If I went to bed early and got up on time, I was tired. If I went to bed early and got up late, I was tired. If I went to bed late and got up early, I was tired. There was no in between. I was just tired every single day, all day, day in, day out. I have a lot of friends but feel alone and like I have no one to talk to. Wednesday the 2nd of October. It was a good day. Spent a lot of the time in my room. I was tired and I didn't cry that day. Thursday the 3rd of October. Alright day, not too bad. I cried, I felt alone and I had no one to talk to. Friday the 4th of October. I looked at old photos and it made me upset. I'm so tired again and I feel so lonely. So I'm going to read you some little passages that I wrote. Now, anybody that's in these passages, no offence to you, okay? Because I don't know what these say really, but I can already see some names. So anybody that's in here, this is just how I felt at the time. It's no disrespect to you. It's just my feelings. And I love you guys. So please don't get offended. Wednesday the 9th of October 2024. My mum had a bad day at work and then my brother started playing up for her and she took all of her stress out on me. When I told her she was doing so, she shouted at me even more. This made me feel upset, unwanted and annoyed. Thursday the 10th of October. Today I struggled a lot. I was told my granddad was diagnosed with leukemia. I saw my mum and dad upset, and Albie, my brother, was being horrible to me all day. I cried all night long. So at the time of my parents' divorce, not only was they getting divorced, not only was my mental health bad, but my granddad had also been diagnosed with leukemia. Luckily he's battled it now. He's absolutely fine. He just has to go get a chemo. But it was another thing to add to the plate. And it was another thing that just it knocked me down even more. So which was it wasn't great. Monday the 14th of October. I struggled today because I was made to go to sleep at my mama's house and it messed up my schedule and it was too stressful. So there's something, I don't know what it is. A lot of people say it's ADHD or autism or something like that, but if you have that, it's not an insult. It's like it doesn't matter if you got it or not. You're still a human. You've still got feelings. You're still a person. It's just another label to add to you. You're just a human. Why do we need to label things? You're just a human with feelings, and you have you just have different needs to what some might say a regular person. Everybody is a regular person. Everybody is normal. Nobody is weird. But what I'm trying to get at is there's something inside of me that says I have to schedule my day. Now, that schedule always doesn't, 99.9%, that schedule never goes to plan. But I have to have I have to know what's happening in the day. There was something that happened that day where I had to go to my Mama West's house. I love my Mama West. Love her with all my heart. I would literally do anything in the world for her. But it wasn't so much for the fact that I had to go to her house. It was more of the fact that then disrupted my schedule of what I planned to do that evening. Which made me stress a lot, and I don't know why. But it just made me stress. So I kind of just I was really upset that day, and that one little minor thing that happened, it kind of just disrupted everything. So that's the story behind that. My mum and my relationship is like, you wouldn't know we were mum and daughter, like, if we didn't look like mum and daughter, you know what I mean? We would just be best friends. Because we are best friends now, like, because of this situation, because of my parents' divorce and separation, we've come out of it stronger and bestest of friends. And same with my dad, actually. Like, I've grown so much closer with my dad out of this situation. In a way, I'm grateful for my situation and how it happened, because I've grown closer with my parents. I see them as parents, but I don't see them as parents in a way that I just see them as my best friends. So yeah, I am very grateful for that as well. At the time, because my mum was kind of keeping hush-hush, it kind of just decreased my trust, but now my trust is like fully back. Let's go into a different one. This one is about me losing my dog, Bella. I still get upset about that to this day. So, my parents split up, my mental health was really bad, my granddad got diagnosed with leukemia, and I lost my dog. Not great timing. So basically, I was talking about how I lost Bella, and it's just another thing to add to the pile. I didn't really know how to feel about it, really. It just said, I'm so confused about it all. I feel numb, like no one gets it. I tell my friends and they don't know how to respond or help. That makes me not want to tell them anything, and then they wonder why I'm quiet or don't talk to them about it anymore. They're always asking me if I'm okay, and if I tell them, they just get all awkward. So I say I'm fine. I can feel myself getting more and more snappy with everyone. I hate it, but I can't help it. I'm not sleeping and I'm always tired. I just want it all to go away. So yeah, that's another thing. I was snappy with everyone every single day. Like, there wasn't a day that I didn't shout at someone. It was just, if somebody asked me if I was okay, I would go, yes, what? Because so many people are asking me if I'm okay, but if I told them actually how I felt, they wouldn't know how to respond, like I keep saying. So I just kept it a hush-hush. And then, boom, like, it was the end of the world if I didn't tell them. But if I did tell them, then it would be the end of the world as well. So yeah, I would just get so snappy. And that is like kind of the negatives of bottling everything up. You get snappy, irritated easy, more angry with everyone. And obviously, like I said, it's alright to bottle things up if you don't want to tell people because of how they make you feel when you do tell them. But at the same time, there is so many negatives to actually bottling things up as well. You can have positives, but you can also have negatives to bottling things up. So I wouldn't recommend bottling things up because it's not healthy. However, if you do, that's okay too. You go through your journey how you want to go through it. Nobody else can tell you how you can go through your journey. I'll read this one. It's got swearing in it, so I'll cut out the little swearing thing. I'm mad. I'm really mad. This family is falling apart. I'm so sick of people lying to me, betraying me. Why can't it all just go away? I hate it so much. I think that's the last one I ever wrote. And then obviously I moved on to journaling, which is really beneficial. I really recommend journaling, like hugely. Honestly, I recommend it so much. It's just the biggest stress reliever ever. I don't really, I journal, but I don't like properly journal. Like I don't sit and write paragraphs and paragraphs. But the main thing that helps me is poetry as well. I really love to do poetry. That is a big one as well. I so recommend poetry to do. I think now we're on the topic of it, I might just read you the poem now. I've chose a poem that really goes with today's subject. So this one is called Numb. In a room full of people, but somehow feel alone. You try to fix the way you look by switching your tone. But it comes out wrong and now you're getting shouted at and you're both going tit for tat. However, you can't help but not care. You know you shouldn't have done it, but this situation doesn't seem very rare. Surely a person screaming at you would make you upset. Not for me, it just seems something that I could easily forget. You realise later on that you're not really feeling anything. All the noise around is faded, even the drop of a penny. I tell myself, yes, I am numb and that is okay. Maybe this feeling is only for today. That is my little poem for today. I really hope that everybody could resonate with that because I think that's one of the poems that really grasps how I feel. Not just back then but now, and it'll come out of nowhere sometimes. Like I could be joking and laughing and then suddenly I'll go into myself and my thoughts will start taking over, and I'll sit there and I'll space out, and then people will be trying to get my attention obviously, and obviously I'm spaced out, so you know, when I'm caught up in my own thoughts. Yeah, it just comes out of nowhere sometimes, and it's like, well, how does that even happen? But obviously it does, so I can't really help that. That's my way of healing. My friends, I love my friends, but I felt like at the time everybody just wanted to go out and do things, and like everybody was making little plans for us to do. And obviously my family would make plans as well, so I had to juggle between dates, and I had to be like, right, well, on Monday I'm doing this, Tuesday I'm doing this, Wednesday I'm doing this, Thursday I'm doing this, Friday I'm doing this. And then on the weekend, when it's my rest days, people would be like, oh, do you want to go out again? Oh, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? I'm having a Halloween party, I'm throwing a birthday party, it's my birthday next week, oh, are you getting me a present, blah, 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 blah. And there's so much information that's going in and like coming out and expecting to buy things for people because it's nearly Christmas or like it's nearly somebody's birthday. It's so much when you've got so much going on your head. Obviously they want to socialise with you, but in that state of mind, I know I did, like I just wanted to be by myself all of the time. Like I said in the last episode, I thought I needed everybody to be there and send me these massive paragraphs and saying how much they were there for me. But honestly, all I needed was to be by myself, and everybody was just trying to socialise or talk to me or ask me how I was, and it was just so much. It was a lot to thought process. And then on top of that, like, because I wasn't eating, even if I wasn't eating, I would still look at myself in the mirror and I was like, I would see so much insecureness. Because all of my friends, I'm not going to lie, they've got great, and I'm not saying this in a weird way, before anybody out there tries to call me out, but, like, honestly, they are so, like, they've just got the perfect bodies. They're not skinny, they're not fat. I hate the word fat, by the way. I hate it. They've got, like, the perfect shape. And still today, I struggle with body image. But because everybody wanted to go out and everything, that means I had to get dressed up and find clothes that I felt comfortable in. But the clothes that I felt comfortable in didn't look as good as the clothes that they were wearing. And, like, I didn't feel comfortable in any clothes. So any clothes that I was wearing, it was just not okay. Like, I looked weird in my eyes. I looked disgusting. My skin was really bad. It still is really bad. I'm wearing makeup right now. So it's not, like, it's not me. This is not my true self. Like, if I had no makeup on, my skin would be a mess. But I forgot to take it off before recording. So, well, no, that's a lie, actually. I had it on and I touched it up before we went on, because if I've got makeup on, it needs to look presentable. I'm not going to lie to you. So, yeah, people say body image is just, like, from your neck down, but I really had trouble with my skin, and that was bringing me down as well. I wasn't eating because I wanted to get skinnier. I wasn't eating because I didn't have the motivation to go and eat, and I didn't really feel like eating. Anyways, I wanted to take a little bit of this session to point out a little bit of... So obviously I'm a female, and I can't really speak for males out there, but I've had a few PSHE lessons to know that a lot of men think that they've got to be manly, you know what I mean? Like, they've got to put, like, on a facade. Generally, it's been, like, scientifically proven that men don't share feelings. They don't. Some men do, and that's great, and I really love that they do that. Everybody should be able to have free will to share their own feelings if they want to or not. But it's, like I said, it's been scientifically proven that a lot of men don't share feelings, and they don't put themselves out there. They don't make themselves vulnerable because they need to be the man. But honestly, like, I want to apologise to anyone that feels like that. Male or female, any gender out there, anyone that feels like that. I'm so sorry. I couldn't be sorrier. I'm so sorry you have to deal with feeling like you have to be the strong one in a relationship, or just be a strong person because you're a boy or a man, or, like I said, any gender is welcome. Like, but if you are the, like, stereotypical male, I'm so sorry you feel like you have to be strong for other people around you, or just be strong and show no emotion just because you're a man. That's so horrible. And you shouldn't feel like that. It's not fair at all. And society shouldn't make it so that boys and men have to go through things like that because you're a man or you're a boy. You've got to be tough, you got to, like, you shouldn't cry like a girl, or you shouldn't be scared. You should toughen up. But that's what I'm going to say on that subject, because I'm a female. I don't know enough about that to talk to you about it, but I know it's something that has been raised a lot in the past few years. And since we're on the subject of mental health today, I just thought I'd put it in there so any boy or man that's listening, I just want you to know that you've not been forgotten about. You're never forgotten. So I want you to know that. Especially on this podcast. Come on now. Have we not learnt this by the millionth time that I've been giving you my intros of saying you need to, if you relate to this, then we are in this together, we can go on this journey together. Male, female, non-binary, whatever you identify as, you're welcome here. If you're lesbian, if you're transsexual, if you're transitioning, if you're gay, if you're pansexual, if you're any of those, you're welcome here. Like, this is a safe space for everyone. Don't feel as though you have to be, oh, well, I don't know if this podcast is for me, blah, 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 blah. It's literally aimed towards young people that are my age. It's just safe. Come here and listen. This is what the whole podcast point is. And it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to struggle. It's okay to have feelings and share. There's nothing that you can say to me that will weird me out, will make me want to block you, anything like, unless it's rude or like hateful towards me, because this is not a hateful podcast. It's supposed to be loving and safe, and everybody's supposed to be feeling welcome here. Unless you're not making our community safe, then you will obviously be blocked and you won't be welcome here. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on male mental health, because I keep seeing these things like boys cry too, and boys have feelings too, and men need to know it's okay to cry. I just wanted to touch on it because obviously, like I keep saying, I am literally a girl. I can't speak for anyone out there that's a man or a boy. I can't. That's not my place. But I just wanted to know that you aren't forgotten about, because you're not. Last week I gave 2 websites to go and look for help, which was Kooth and Childline. I'll go into more detail with those in later, once I've read through this big old list of places to go for help, because I did my research. I did my research. So I'm going to read them, because you guys need to know where to go for help if you need urgent help, or if you just need to tell somebody about it. These websites include journals, they include text messages if you don't want to call, they include calling, they include phone numbers as well if you do want to speak to someone on the phone. Or if they are an urgent company, like fast straight away, then they do only offer calls. But they have devices, everything. The first one is Every Mind Matters. So this includes support, tips on how to improve your mental health and well-being. Young Minds has wealth of resources on their website dedicated to crisis services. This is available every day of the week. All you need to do is text YM to 85258, and these texts will be answered by trained professionals. The next one is Papyrus, PAPYRUS. This stands for Prevention of Young Suicide. So the professionals provide advice and support people who think they may take their own life. So this is a calling service, and you call their helpline, HOPE in all capitals, line UK, on 08000 68 4141, or you can text on 077 86 209 687. My bad, you can text as well. The next one is the Samaritans. This is an organisation you can ring at any time of the day or night. They'll help you and listen to you on how you're feeling. You can call them on 116123, or you can email them at joe@samaritans.org. Next is Shout. This provides a free confidential 24/7 text message support in the UK for anyone who is struggling to cope and anyone in crisis. Text Shout to 85258. Next is Childline. So I touched on Childline last week and I found more information about it. So this, I think, is a call-in. You can't text. So I got that wrong last week. It's not a texting service, it's just call. So it provides confidential telephone counselling service for any child with a problem. It comforts, advises and protects. Call at 0888 444 anytime for free. The next one is The Mix. This provides a free telephone helpline and online service. So you can call at 0808 4994. This service, unfortunately, is only open until 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. I also touched on Kooth last week. So this is an anonymous site online for mental health, counselling and co-therapy. It includes a magazine, a discussion board, a message or live chat, and a daily journal you can fill in. So if you can't write your thoughts or feelings in a journal, or like a physical journal, then you can journal on Kooth. They give you an online one, and like I said, there's a little hide the page button and it takes you right to Google. So if anybody comes up behind you or tries to check your device, it'll be gone. You will not be able to find it. The last website I'm going to give you today is Beat. It's helping young people with eating problems / eating disorders. Their youth line is 0808 8010 711. This is only for under 18s, unfortunately, so if you're over 18 you can't use this. That is all of my websites. I hope you can utilise them and take them with caution as well, because I really want those to help, because I researched specifically for you guys so that you could use them, because I really, if this isn't enough to help you and you get really low as well as like you can't just relate to someone, you have to tell someone about it, because obviously you can tell me about it, you can DM me, like I said, message me in the comments, DM me privately if you don't want it out there on the internet. I will help, I promise you, I will reply, but at the same time, I'm not a professional, I can't help you professionally. So if you need professional help, all of those websites literally are right there. I've literally displayed them on the screen for you. Please use them if you really need urgent help. Also, when I am filming this, it's currently Halloween. And also, like, it won't be Halloween when this comes out. I think it'll be about the day after Halloween, or maybe a couple of days after Halloween. But anyway, I'm not a big fan of Halloween. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not like, and it's like, just, it's like, I don't know, it's not the greatest of holidays, to be honest. Like, it's very controversial, but I really don't. I think it's very Americanized, with like all the sweets and chocolate, and you can go and get those from the shop. And I don't know, it's not my favourite holiday. But if you really like Halloween, then please go for it. That was episode 2 of my podcast. I hope everybody's well. Please go check out my YouTube if you're not listening on YouTube. because we're starting to do the quote of the day. So quotes are a big part of my journey as well. That's why I've started to do them. I really love quotes. They're like really, really great and they soothe me. So I thought I'd share them because that's a nice thing to do for you guys. But yeah, I hope everybody's having a good day if you're listening, or having a good night, or a good walk, or wherever you're listening. I hope you're having the greatest of times. And yes, I'll see you next time. Bye.